Anuj, I think you have unmuted your. Alright, this is a practice project. There is a company ABC which generates an annual revenue of $1 billion. It started some Six Sigma initiative in 2006 and they wanted to improve few processes. CFO reviewed the data and he has found that there were pending customer payments, right? They were not receiving the invoice within 60 days. That was one thing. Another thing is he borrowed 9 million at 9% annual interest rate to fund his operating expenses. The CFO was also not convinced with the performance of collections in finance department, and therefore he wanted to initiate this Six Sigma projects. He has identified two potential leaders, but I would say that I have reduced it to only one actually, so that we may discuss one and then the other thing will follow the same format. So let us go to the actual problem. Some initial analysis by the CFO showed that payment for 20% of the invoices weren't received within 60 days. And therefore, project leader he felt that the percentage of invoices for which payment is not received within 60 days should be considered late payments or defectives. And this is the first problem. He was telling that the percentage defectives should be less than 5%. That is my goal, first goal. Second goal, by looking at that statement, we know that turnaround time should be less than 60 days. This is the second CTQ, this is the first CTQ. Are these two CTQs clear with you, Anush? Just chat with me. Okay, one is okay, that is defective is okay. Turnaround time you are not okay. So let me go back here. Look at this statement. How is defect? They are only telling that it is a defect. Defective, not defect. Defect is different, defective is different. One second, Anuj. Yeah, so look at this, Anuj. They are themselves saying that if it is a late payment, it is called as defective. And our goal is to reduce the defective percentage from 20% to 5%. So what should I reduce? I have to reduce defectives to 5%. So it should be less than 5%. Is this clear? Yep. The second thing is turnaround time, where you had some. No, okay. Look at this. They're telling that they were not receiving the invoice payment within 60 days. What does that mean? Normally the turnaround time should have been 60 days less than, but they're not receiving. So our goal is to bring this turnaround time to less than 60 days. Yeah, is this also clear? Yeah, perfect. So now all these details are given. I need to calculate the business benefits for a tenure of 1 year. Okay, let me open that Excel sheet. Okay, so this is the Excel sheet that I've shared with you. I believe I'm sharing my screen also. Okay, so this is the Excel sheet that I've shared. Nothing was provided. right? This is how the Excel sheet was looking. So a particular person, project champion, he works for 40 hours for $120 dollars per hour. So what will the total come up to? 40 multiplied by $120 per hour, which should be $4,800. That is the cost of project champion. For project leader, he works for 320 hours. So he works for how many hours? 320 hours multiplied by 45. What will you get? $14,400. In this way, if I calculate the cost for all of these people, this is the actual value that is coming up. So let me add everything, because these are the cost of all the people who are involved on Six Sigma project. I'm getting $37,400. Yeah, this is the total cost. Let me write down here somewhere. Total cost of all project resources. Total cost of all project resources is 37,400. This is one cost. Second cost is they also budgeted around 30,000 for training and 50,000 for CRM changes. Okay, 30,000 for what? For trainings and 50,000 for CRM. 30,000 for trainings and another 50,000 for CRM. So now the total cost of Six Sigma project will be the sum of all these things. It's 1,117,400. This is the cost. How much are we going to save? The project says that if you're going to increase it, then this 9 million at 9% interest rate, we need not take it from the bank. We can probably save it. Yeah, so it is mentioned here. If any of these goals are achieved, the company will not need the loan to fund their operating expenditure. So they need not take this 9 million at 9% annual rate, right? That is what the statement says. So 9 million at 9%, let me go back. 9 million, 9% is nothing but 0.09. Sorry. 9% of 9 million. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 9% of 9 million is 810K or 8,10,000. What is this? This is the savings of loan that we want to take from the bank. Now, what is the actual benefit? Actual benefit of Six Sigma is nothing but this amount that you're saving is this amount that you're saving minus your expenditure, which will come up to 690 to 600. Yeah, Anuj, are you okay with the calculations? Perfect, perfect. So you'll tell to your senior management that, sir, this is the amount that I'm planning to save for you. 690 to 600. So remember, you are removing the training cost, very, very important. You're removing the cost of any software that you're planning to procure, and all the resources that you're involving in the Six Sigma project, you're removing their effort also, translated to money, and only then you're calculating your savings. So everything is discounted for, actually. So let me go back to this. All right. You can just write down who is the project leader, sponsor, team members, Yeah, business process, business case. I want to save so many dollars. Business scope. Scope is my invoice department and your finance department, because those two people were delaying it. Now this is the most important part, CTQ. I've told you that turn around time is one goal and the goal should have been less than 60 days. Let me insert one more thing. I've kept only one purposefully actually. Okay, okay, I'll put here only. Another goal is defective percentage, which should be less than 5%. And what is the business impact? These are the important things that I'm writing. Other things you can just read the names of the people and write that. It's 692, 600. Is that the amount what we got? Yeah. All right. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. What is the duration from and to date? Sponsor approval, yes, no, team buy-in. So where are you going to get the define phase details? Here it is. Yeah, here it is actually. So here also you should have ideally spent some time actually. If you see, identify CTQ and coming up with detailed process map, these two are part of your define phase. Tasks 1 and 2. Yeah, those two are your define phase. So how many days is it? For 8 days. So let me put on 8 days. Then you have CTQ, measurement system analysis, data collection plan. These three are part of your measure phase. So let me put it here. Measure phase. How many days is the measure phase taking? 18 days. These three. Then we have our analyze phase, improve phase, and control phase. What is analyze phase? You want to baseline the performance, identify critical excess. So these two, which will be 20 days. Improve phases, improve your design, implementation of this, post improvement data collection, and improvement check. These three. So it will be how many days? 23 days, these three. And the last two, create control plan and hand over the process, would be for 8 days. Yeah. And from date to date, you can put any dates, but it has to be mapped with these number of days. Is this clear, Anuj? All right. These predecessor numbers that are given here will actually help you come up with a critical path. It will help you come up with network diagram. Actually, that is part of your PMP. But anyways, so these are the dates. If the start date I'm mentioning today's date, 8 days from today would be the end date of my define phase. In that way, I calculate all the dates and I'm going to put here what is the duration, number of days from date to date and all. Then this is the process that is already provided to us. Process is already provided in steps. All you need to do is put these steps here. Who's supplier, input, process, output, and customer. Yeah. Collection team needs inputs from sales team. So your input will be the sales team. No, your supplier will be your sales team. You're receiving inputs from your sales team, from your order management team, and invoice creation team. Right? From these three teams, sales, order management, and invoice creation, you are getting the inputs. What is the input? Input is nothing but your invoice. So if you were to write here, you would have written sales team here, order processing team, and the other team. What is the input? Invoice. What are the process? Process is mentioned here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever be it. You would have written down all the process steps here. Copy paste, that's it. And what is the output? Once the invoice is closed, the information is sent to general ledger team and sales incentive team. So once that is closed, who are your customers? Your customers are your general ledger team and your sales incentive team. Clear with this, Anuj? I'm not writing just to save time. Yeah. Then comes your define phase. CFO wants a project to be completed within 3 months. The project leader prepared a project plan draft. However, the project duration based on the project plan is 3.5 months. Project leader wants to identify the tasks that he should focus on to reduce the duration of the project. Please use suitable analysis to identify the tasks and the part that the project leader should focus on. So he's telling that CFO wants a project to be completed in 3 months. However, when we look into this Excel sheet, the duration is for how many days? 77 days. 2 months means 3 months means it should have been 90 days. All right. But they're telling that it's going to take 3.5 months. Why is that so? Approximately 20 days you can, or 22 days you can consider as 1 month. So 3 months will be 66 days. 3.5 months will be 77 days, right? You do not work on all days. We do not work on Saturdays and Sundays. Excluding that, approximately 22 days in a month you work. And half a month means 11 days. If I sum entire thing, I'm getting 77. And here also I'm getting 77. So your CFO says, no, I want it to be completed in 3 months at all cost. So tell me, what is the critical step where I can reduce the duration? Then you go ahead and give your critical path. So let us do that. This is process step 1, step 2, step 3. When I say step 1, step 2, step 3, I'm speaking about this serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth. 3, 4, 5. Let me put 6 here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let us put 11 here. 11. Then 12. I just like that put randomly. Okay. There's no logic behind entering in this way. So task 1. Hope this is visible, or let me make it 90%. All right. Okay. So step 2. Step 2 has a predecessor as step 1. Let me highlight the marker. So here the step 2 has predecessor as step 1. Predecessor means someone, it would be like this. One second. Okay. So yeah, it'll be like this. And they're telling this step 1 will take 4 days, step 2 will take 4 days. Now this step 3, where is step 3 here? That also has a predecessor as 1. So let me do one thing. Let me remove the rest of the things. Let me put it as we discussed. So step 3. What happened? It's stuck. It's stuck. Okay, all right. So if you see this third one, it has third step has predecessor as 1. Hey, my God. So it has predecessor as step 1, step 3. And step 1 will take 1 day. Now let us look at step 4, measurement system analysis. Step 4 has predecessor as 3. So I'll put step 4 here, or let me put it here. Step 4 has predecessor as step 3. That means it has connection with step 3. And this step 4 takes 7 days. Then you have step 5. Step 5 is data collection. That step 5 also has predecessor as 3. That means I need to again establish a connection from 3 to 5. Yeah, and how many days will step 5 take? 10 days. Then comes step 6. Step 6 has 2 connections from 4 and 5. Let me put step 6 here. It has 2 connections from 4 and 5 and it takes 6 days. 5 and 4 both connect to 6 and 6 takes 6 days. And then let us look into the next step actually. Next step is 7th step. It has connection from 2 and 6 actually. So let me put step 7 here, and it has 2 connections. One is from step 2 and one is from step 6. And how many days will step 7 take? 14 days. Then comes step 8. Step 8 has a connection with step 7. So let me put step 8 somewhere here. Step 8 has connection from step 7 and it takes 10 days. So 7 to 8, here is a connection, it takes 10 days. Then we have 8 to 9. And then 9 to 4. Oh. Okay, let me put step 9 here. Step 9 is implementation of improvement plan, which has a connection from 8. So let me draw that connection also. And how many days will it take? 9. Step 9, 9 takes 9 days actually. Then we move on to step 10. Let me put step 10 here. Step 10 has a connection from 9 and it will take 4 days. Step 10 has a connection from 9 and it takes 4 days. Then comes step 11. Let me put step 11 here. Step 11 has connection from 9 again and the duration is 4 days. Then last step, step 12. They say that step 12 has two connections. Yeah, one is from 11 and another one is from 10. Right, and this duration is for 2 days. This is the entire critical path. So we have drawn this path actually. I'll put it in layman terms. The path which takes the maximum duration is called as a critical path. So let us add and see. This is one path. Let me select another color. Okay. So this is one path. 1 to 2, 2 to 7, 7 to 10, and then it moves on like this. This is one path. Another path that I can take is I can go here, here. I can come here. Or I can take the same route until here, and then I can go in this way. Right, same with this one also. I can go in same direction until here, but I can come like this. I can traverse to the last step 12 from 9 or from 10. So that is why I'm showing those. But these are not, this is not the end. There is another path here. I can take in this way. Right, so there are multiple paths. That path which takes the longest duration is a critical path. So let us calculate and see. I believe this is the longest path. So 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 10, 15, 15 plus 6, 21, 21, 14, 35, 35, 10, 45, 45 plus 9, 54, 58, 60. This is the longest duration, right, path. Do you have anything else that is going to take longer than this? I don't think so. I think this is the longest path. So always, whenever you're trying to do some schedule compression, that means now what is it that we were telling? CFO wants the project to be completed. CFO wants the project to be completed. Let me go with the arrow. Within 3 months. But we were telling that it is taking 3.5 months. Then he told, what are the important tasks that we should focus on to reduce the duration of the project? We have to always reduce the duration of the critical path. What is critical path? Critical path is the path which takes maximum number of days. Yeah, Anush, is that clear? All right. So we have to do all that. We have to sketch that path and focus on. Yeah. Next thing is we move on to the measure phase. And here we have to come up with the CTQ, right, and data type and all that. So first CTQ was time, turnaround time. What is turnaround time? It is continuous. What is a unit of measure? We were measuring it in hours, for example. Operational definition, you have to write down clearly. When do you want to start measuring your time? When do you want to start measuring? Probably I want to start measuring based on the invoice date. When do you want to end measuring? You want to end measuring it once it receives your finance system. Then what is the LSL, USL? Here we do not have any LSL. We only have USL. We are telling that we have to receive invoices within 60 days. What is the target? It should be less than 60 days. Same thing for your defectives also, right? CTQ is defectives. Is defective continuous or discrete? We know that it is discrete data. How are we measuring it? We are measuring it in percentage terms. Sorry. We are measuring it in percentage. Here also you provide the start date, end date. When do you want to, start time, end time. Let me put it here. Yeah, not end date, end time. When do you want to start and end your measurement? When you want to start, when do you want to stop, all that. Here probably I want to stop when invoice payment is done. All right. What was a LSL? There was no LSL given here. Again, there was USL given, saying that 5% is the maximum. And what is your target? Target is that you want to reduce it to less than 5%. That is your measure phase. Then I use my measurement attribute agreement analysis. This attribute agreement analysis, I think, Anuj, we have done it even in our black belt, right? So I'll just skip this. Is that okay, or do you want me to do this? Anuj? Okay, fine. I'll do that. So measure attribute agreement analysis.mtw. Let me open that. Okay, sure. Sure, no problem. This is a file. Yes, this is a file. Let me open it. It's opening up, I think. Perfect. It came up. So how many invoices do we have in column 1? We have 30 invoices. And then we have how many appraisers? Appraiser 1, 2, 3. We have 3 appraisers and 1 supervisor also. And how many trials do we have? 2 trials each. 2 trials every person. So let me quickly do attribute agreement analysis. All right. The details are in multiple columns. I'm selecting appraiser 1 to appraiser 3. Number of appraisers are 3 and number of trials are 2. And then we have a standard also. I select this and click on OK. I get this graph. Instead, I'll go to the textual information. I'll see here appraiser 1, it's 93.33. 86.67 for appraiser 2, and for appraiser 3 it is 90%. This is repeatability within appraisers. Now each appraiser versus standard. This is individual accuracy. This is how much? 93.3 and 83.33. And the third one is 86.67. This is individual accuracy. Then let me further go down between appraisers. Between appraisers is nothing but your reproducibility, which is 73.33. And all appraisers versus standard is called as team accuracy, which is 73.33. So I just enter all those values here. 93.33, so on and so forth. In that way, I enter all the values here. Then I move to the next phase. Project leaders want to collect data for Y baseline. Yeah. Now that, oh, Just give me a minute. This is critical actually. It will go around in seconds. Anuj, just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. Just give me 2 minutes. So this is about the measure phase. Right, operational definition, where do you want to collect it? What is the process of collecting? Will you manually collect? For how long will you collect? That is the data period. Who are the people who are going to collect? Do you want any support? And while collecting the data, do you foresee any risks or do you have any issues? This is a normal thing that you collect. Then this is for the defectives. Here also you do, or okay. Here we'll have to calculate the ZLT and ZST, right? So let us do that. A project leader randomly samples 120 invoices and he checks whether the invoices were closed within 60 days or not. Right, so for this you need to open your sigma level calculator and then calculate these values. All right, let us open this defectives. Number of defectives. First, let me open the sigma level calculator. Let me also open this. So here there is a simple thing, Anuj, actually. Look at this. We need to calculate ZLT and ZST, right? There are 120 invoices. So you know the sample count. Sample count is 120 samples. Now how many defectives are there? Sorry, here it is, 120. How many defectives do you have? For that I've opened this file. All I need to do is, one means defective it seems, right? It's clearly mentioned, one is defective. So I'll have to calculate how many ones are there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. In this way, if you calculate the number of ones, you will see that the number of ones is equal to 26. Right? If you have 26 defectives in a sample of 120, then what is ZLT and ZST? It is 0.78 and 2.28. It is 0.78 and 2.28. So these are the current sigma levels. So you will tell to the management that as of now your process is not even operating at 3 sigma level, it's operating at less than 3 sigma. In fact, it is just 2.28 sigma. Then we come to the analyze phase, Ishikawa diagram. I think this is already given to us in the project itself, practice project. Analyze Ishikawa, yeah, it's there. Sorry. Here it is. So all these are your factors. What are the factors affecting time taken to collect payment? So this factors affecting time taken to collect payments will be the head of the fish. Will be the head of the fish. This is how you draw it. Here you'll mention, let me copy this. You'll say that this is my head of the fish. This part. These are all the categories. So mistakes can be because of operations manager, or mistakes can be because of quality supervisor, or mistakes can be because of training manager, or mistakes can be because of executive. These are the four major categories that are available. So this is the head. These are the major categories that we have. And then for each one you'll put down. Okay, operations manager, what do you think is the problem? You'll write down this thing. Our analysts aren't experienced to deal with the situations. You'll mention that here. Then you say, I have even seen them not following up. Oh, quality manager has come up with another issue. He's telling he has not seen them follow up. The third one, which is here, operations manager is, I guess the priority of invoice affects how much time we take to close the invoice. All right, he has come up with another cause. In that way, everyone will come up with their causes. Look at this training manager. Training manager says, we don't even have a formal training for analysts. Oh, he's telling there is no formal training for analysts. You write down. Wherever potential is mentioned, those can be your critical excess. I mean, there are many issues. Out of those, I'm picking up those which are critical, wherever potential is mentioned. That is all about your next step. Yeah, Ishikawa diagram, we have come up with that. Why is this getting repeated? I'm not sure. Then we come to the analyze phase, sample size. This we are yet to do. Tomorrow we'll be doing this in our Six Sigma analyze phase. So until then, just hold on with that. Then we have to come up with the hypothesis testing, which is in the analyze phase. What is the hypothesis testing? You will have to clearly mention the results and the inferences of these things. So here you have to, first thing is identify what is Y and what is X. You'll have to identify what is Y and what is X. What is Y here? No, Anuj, we have improve and control phase also. So otherwise we will do one thing, we'll stop here, and when we connect